Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape, vinyl tape,
carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneur Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham. And Matt, I am so excited, my man, Randy Dixon. What's going on? How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good, Kevin. How you doing, man?
Good. So listen, we don't want to be rude. We want the listening audience to know that you've got your queen, Pat, with you. Pat, say hello. How are you, Pat?
Doing well.
Good. So let's just tell the listening audience how this came about. So I think, Pat, it was your birthday. No, it was Randy's birthday last year, right? And then you were shouting out happy birthday, or Quentin was shouting out happy birthday to Randy. And I was like, yo, tell him I said happy birthday too. And at that time, I had not spoken to Randy in almost 20 years.
Wow.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was,
So, Randy, it might be even longer, right? So 20, 25 years, 30 years, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So, and I said to Q, Q, tell Pat to have Randy call me. And I think 3 weeks went by, and then Randy, all of a sudden, you text me. And then we started texting each other back and forth, watching some of the Thursday night and Sunday night and Saturday night football games. So I am excited to connect with you, man, and just to talk about all things great. So we're just going to jump back into who you are, right? And don't be shy, right? So you are coming from Pahokee, or you came from Pahokee, Florida?
No, that's Walter Jones. I came from Clewiston.
Okay, one more time? Clewiston. Got you. Now, how far is that from Walter?
That's about 25, 30 miles.
Okay. And so what drew you to the University of Pittsburgh at that time to play ball for Pitt?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Kevin, like when I was a sophomore,
yes,
I was committed to go to the University of Florida.
Wow.
But Hugh Green and Ricky Jackson,
yes,
is the ones that came down and saw me play.
Okay.
And told me about the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And just doing research on my own, and I learned about Joe Moore, what a great coach he was, as the offensive line coach there. You remember Joe?
Oh yes.
That when I went to visit it, I was sold.
Yes. Now, and the cold weather didn't bother you, did it?
Well, when I came down for the recruiting trip, it was about 75, so that was all a mystery to me.
Yeah. So now, personal question. You think had you gone to the University of Florida, your game playing would have been different?
That's kind of hard to say.
Okay.
Me growing up in Florida, I mean, that was the school at the time.
Yeah.
But they were going on probation. They got the death penalty.
Yes.
And so a lot of the guys that was in that class with me went to other schools, and some still went to Florida.
Okay.
But I'm happy. Overjoyed with the choice that I made to go to University of Pittsburgh.
I am too, man. I am too. And you and I became pretty good friends. So we're gonna speed the interview along. So it's your senior year. When do you get an agent? When you felt like you were going to pro, when did you decide I need to get an agent?
I'm trying to think back. That's been a while. Like, I didn't get an agent.
Okay.
Until, like I said, it was after we had finished the season off of Penn State.
Okay.
It's when I signed with the agent that went with Dixon, who's a well-known agent in Pittsburgh.
Okay. And then you knew that you wanted to play professional ball, but you had no idea who you wanted to play for, did you?
Right. Well, I went to Pitt. That was one of the reasons why I went to Pitt, because I wanted to be a pro football player.
Gotcha.
I took my education seriously, but I went to Pitt to be a pro.
Well, for the record, man, you were a beast. If my man, Randy Dixon, was the beast. All right, Pat, we're going to bring you in here. Now, when did you fall in love with Randy Dixon?
You just jumped right into that. When did I fall in love?
Okay.
How come you didn't ask Randy? When did you fall in love with Pat?
Pat, I'm sorry.
But that's all right. I'll play nice and answer the question.
No, you don't have to, because we want to get some background on you too, Pat. Now, because you were at Pitt at the same time, and you were playing basketball, right?
Correct.
Did you ever think about doing the WNBA or playing pro basketball yourself?
No, actually, at that time there was not the WNBA was not.
That's right.
Wasn't active, so no, it really wasn't my goal at that point.
Okay.
I was able to play basketball and utilize that to further my education and get my degree.
Okay. Did you ever think about wanting to play pro basketball like overseas at that time? Anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. I was, satisfied with playing there and, moving on afterwards with my degree and, next step in life. So.
Okay. So now, Randy, you heard what Pat said. So we're going to ask you first then. When did you fall in love with Pat, Randy?
Well, I'm trying to think the first time that we met. I think we might have met, sophomore?
Yeah, we met the summer after our sophomore year.
Now you notice, Pat, Randy forgot that day. He said, when? What?
we you know what? At this point, we both have to look at each other and fill in the blank. So no problem there.
All right. So, Randy, it was the end of your sophomore year. You met Pat, right?
Yes. I think who introduced Pat to me was, remember Lil Bell, the little point guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one that introduced us.
Okay. And then you fell in love, like love at first sight?
Well, I ain't going to say love at first sight, but soon after that,
Pat, are you sitting next to Randy?
I am right here. That's an honest answer. I have no problem with
that. Okay. I'm not like causing war or friction, am I?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So, go ahead, Pat. Say that. What you was going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I don't know. I guess there is love at first sight with some people, but I think usually it's a attraction, and then you kind of go from there as you get to know the person.
Now, and I must admit, Randy is a handsome guy, right?
Most definitely.
Absolutely. So, Pat, what drew you to Pittsburgh besides Randy? That's a joke.
Well,
because you didn't know Randy at that time. But what drew you?
Randy at that time.
Yeah, what drew you to Pittsburgh?
Well, I was a basketball player. I grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
And so I was also recruited by Pitt to play basketball.
Okay. And so the cold weather didn't bother you?
No, it didn't bother me.
And how was our basketball program at that time of your recruitment?
It was good. It was good. It was a good program. Had a few ups and downs with the seasons, but great program.
Okay.
Well, when you first went there, they had, what was the girl name that was the All-American?
Jennifer Bruce.
Yeah. So,
So we had a great team, and it was definitely a great experience.
Good. So now it's we're going to fast forward again. So we're Randy's senior year. He's about to go pro, and so when does he ask you for your hand in marriage?
Well, he was, so we were together actually,
Yes.
watching the draft
Okay.
on television in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and trying to think. So afterwards, when school was over, I went back to Toronto,
Okay.
which is where I'm from,
Yes.
and Randy was drafted by the Colts, so he came to Indianapolis,
Yes.
and then we were engaged not too long after that.
And
Yeah,
Randy,
we got engaged when I was in training camp.
Right.
and Randy, you got on one knee?
No, it was over the phone. And then when she came to Indy,
Yeah.
we went, shopping for rings or whatever.
Okay. Now, Pat, at any point did Randy get on one knee and ask?
Now you try to put me on. I don't think I got on one.
I don't think he got on one.
Oh
But
no!
he definitely did ask.
Okay.
The knees of an athlete sometimes aren't. That was part of the not getting on one knee.
Yeah. So
But he definitely did propose.
that's all right. That's all. My man Randy. That's all right. You got to have some Southern charm to you, Randy. All right. No, listen.
Right.
So how many years did you play for the Colts?
9 seasons.
9 seasons. What was that experience like, man?
I mean, I enjoyed every moment of it.
Okay.
I played with some great guys. Learned a lot by first couple of years.
Yes.
Like when I was drafted here, they already had 3 Pro Bowls on the offensive line.
Okay.
And then when I was able to bring it to the lineup in the middle of my rookie year,
Yes.
start playing, I mean, I was well taken care of, and I still, communicate with those guys today.
Okay. So because you're, what are you like, 6'4", 6'5", Randy?
6'4".
6'4", and at that time you were what, 290, 300?
When I was here with the Colts, I played about 300.
Yeah, that's beast mode, man. That's beast mode. That's all right. So you've got 9 years in. What did you think? What did you think? And I don't know if you can answer that question. So, what did you think about playing football at that time? Was it a good experience for you? Would you have done things differently? And do you think that we as African Americans have come a long way since then?
Well, I did things differently. Like I said, it was a little disappointing. Where the round that I got drafted in.
Yes.
But other than that, I loved Indianapolis. I love the guys that I played with. I wish we would have won more games.
Yes.
But the guys that I played with, I had a chance to play with some unbelievable running backs and some, good quarterbacks that are not well known.
Yes.
But taught you, how to play the game. And, I learned how to read defenses here.
Okay.
With my brothers on the offensive line. I mean, I play with a lot of sharp guys.
Yes. So, but I guess my question I'm asking you is, when you're playing football, are you concerned about the business side of football, or that you allow someone else to take care of the business side of football?
Like I said, at that point, like Kevin, I know I was better than the backup guys. I didn't even worry about that. I know I was going to be able to play as long as I was able to play.
Yes.
So that side of it, I didn't even think of that.
But I mean, you never worried about the business side of being traded or being caught up in a trade. Were you concerned about that, or that was never an issue?
No, that was never an issue. I mean, I was never allowed to be a free agent, Kevin, until my 9th year.
Okay. Wow.
And I decided to go back to the Colts. I was always protected. I was never able to be a free agent.
And so the protection, I guess, is a good thing, right? Because that means that you're valuable to the team.
At the time, that's what I thought, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
And I was always treated fairly. like of course, just like anybody else, I had to hold out for for the contracts, but I did get was well taken care of, and I have no regrets. I'm still involved with the Colts, and just a great experience overall.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is football then versus football now. Is there clearly a difference, right? Do you think that the guys get caught up with too much of the business and not enough of the athletic side, or vice versa? I mean, what do you think?
Well, the game is completely different now. I mean, like, you just look at just the social media side of it.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Okay.
I mean, it was just like at the time when I was playing, the coaches didn't come to you and ask you what days are you feeling okay? Go baby practice. We was in pads every day. We was in pads every day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, as a pro, we was in pads every day except for Thursday was we did just a shoulder pad.
Okay.
So we got it every day. And plus, like I say, we were losing, so you had to prove yourself every day. You were week to week.
Got you. Yeah, but you're saying the young boys
today,
now.
like today, these guys, there's only certain times they're allowed to be on the field.
Yeah.
So most of the time they got to practice. I mean, like, I didn't know. All I knew was what time practice started.
Yeah.
And practice ended when the coach blew the whistle.
Gotcha. But listen though, Randy, they don't make players like you were made, man. Right? You, like I said, tough as nails, beast mode, my man. So Pat, Randy's playing professional football, and what are you doing at that time to support Randy?
Well, initially, his first 2 years, we had a, long distance relationship because while we were engaged before we got married, I was living in Toronto and coming to visit when I could and coming to some games. And
you came to all the home games?
Yeah, came to most of the home games.
Okay.
So at that point, like I said, it was more of a long distance relationship, and I was working back in my hometown of Toronto.
Okay.
And then we got married in the off season. In Toronto.
Of his rookie year? Of his rookie year?
No, after his second year.
Okay.
And then that's when I moved down here to Indianapolis.
So Randy, you went to Toronto for the wedding?
Yes.
Wow, how was that, man? Pat? I'm gonna ask you first, Pat. How was that?
How was it? Well, it was cold. I mean, we realized that we needed to. As far as Randy playing professional football, we needed to schedule a wedding, around his season and schedule. Yes. So that's why it was in February.
Wow. You know what? I can remember you guys now on campus. Everybody thought that was a match made in heaven. So obviously they were right. So
I guess so.
Yeah. So Randy marries you. You guys come back down to Indianapolis Colts, right? And now you are setting up shop. You are his partner now.
Correct.
What was that like being a wife of a professional football player?
Well, I think I've been asked that question before, and I always think, well, what was it like?
Yes.
I mean, I think it was like probably any other marriage in many other ways, and that you support each other, you encourage each other, and in your endeavors. So in that way, it was the same thing. Of course, I was at the games and, there watching, and same thing, encouraging, and you end up having a camaraderie with other family members from the players.
Okay.
So, and in ways get involved in the community and other, social outreach type programs at the time. So,
well, before we talk about that, what about public criticism? As a wife, how did you handle public criticism? Because Randy said that the team wasn't always doing that well. That was definitely challenging at times.
Mm-hmm. As the wife of an offensive lineman,
yes,
it wasn't always. I could definitely see a lot of the criticism would sometimes be put on some of the other positions, like a quarterback, as an example.
Yes,
receiver if you miss a pass. So I didn't feel it a lot as far as that type of public criticism. And I think because I also was a former athlete,
Yes.
I was able to sit and kind of understand that a lot of people watching really don't understand.
Very true.
You know,
Very true.
don't understand the sport, don't understand what's going on, don't understand the efforts that are being put forward by, players and coaches. So
Yes.
most of the time I was able to turn a deaf ear, I guess you could say.
Got you.
That had to be tough at times. Like I said, I know Patricia was pretty good friends with the starting quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Sat in the same section, and like I said, sometimes it was hard.
Got you. Now, with the wives, in terms of your philanthropic, ideas and giving back to the community, was that a Randy and Pat decision? Was that a team decision? Was that a wives decision in terms of how you were to give back to the community?
I would say some of both.
Okay.
We would have, events as part of a group.
The Coach Wives
the Coach Wives Association
Okay.
and certain things we would do. There were certain things that we would do, individually, but
Okay.
yeah.
And
but most of the holidays, you guys would do things.
yeah. No,
Like everybody do things for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that.
Now, why was it so important to give back at that level, being a professional athlete or a wife of a professional athlete? Why was it so important to give back?
Well, I would say, it's an obligation to give back if you have
Okay.
the ability to. If you've been blessed with the ability to give back, then I think that it's important to do so.
Got you. And what were some of the things that you guys were committed to doing for the community?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
No, I said, what were some of the things that you guys were committed to doing for the community? Like, just name some of the programs that you were involved in.
I would say, Kevin, like the first thing that I was involved with, it was with a guy who was trying to recruit me to go to Mississippi State. His name was Johnny Cook.
Yes.
Was a really good, middle linebacker. Ended up playing outside linebacker here with the Colts.
Okay.
We got involved with the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I came from Florida. Like, basketball wasn't that big of a deal
Yes.
in this part of the state where I stayed at.
Yes.
And we ended up, me, Johnny, Bill Brooks, coaching a youth basketball team that was really good.
Okay.
That was put together out of the Boys Club. That was one of the first things I did as a rookie
Okay.
here for Indy. And like it's been many things that we've been a part of and that we have done.
Now, have you done anything back at your home state?
But the thing that what I did at home is I picked through like the offensive linemen at my high school. I picked them to camp.
Okay.
They were gonna go to like the University of Florida.
Yes.
Florida State, they have camps. I pay for all those. I pay for all of them to go.
Well, I mean,
So they, like to my high, to my high school.
Well, you could have taught the whole camp yourself, man, right?
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, at that time, like I said, it ain't like how it is today. Like,
Yeah.
with my contract, I had to be here to work out.
Got you.
12 weeks in a row for the Colts.
Got you. I understand.
To participate in the off-season program, and it was kind of tough. But I did go whenever I had a chance. With my mom and dad was still there,
Yes.
and my brother. And we'd go back and visit. So I would go to the schools. I would talk to the kids that's on the school, in high school, and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful. And so, how did you deal with the traveling, man? Every Sunday or every Monday, you're in a different city, right? How did you make with that? How did that work for you guys?
Well, it wasn't. Like I said, we would fly out. Tell what day the games were just the day before, and we would come back after the game. But the road trip, you enjoy those. But it's nothing like if you get a road win, it's nothing better.
Yeah.
Shutting out a crowd, nothing better.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate it. Like I love about the fans here in Indy.
Yes.
But it's nothing like playing on the road and shutting those guys out.
Understood. Because it's almost like 53 people against the world, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole.
Remember back then it was just 45.
What?
It was just 45 guys on the team back when we were playing. That 53 came, here with, I guess, probably 90,
Wow.
798 when they moved up to
Wow.
55.
Wow. So now you're traveling with 45. Now it's 53. That's crazy. I always thought it was 53, man.
No.
45. You had to be really tough then. Gee. Whiz.
Oh yeah, like I said, you service. I mean, you ran scout team. You did it all.
Yeah. Now, so at what point do you start thinking about retirement?
I started thinking about that, like I say, going into my last year.
Okay.
Because there was just certain things that wasn't healing up.
Okay.
I was going to training camp, but I was still feeling, some of the lingering injuries.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, you had to suck it up, and you just keep playing.
Yeah. And
so,
then
like today, like a lot of the guys said, like, well, I'm going to listen to my body. Like we wasn't allowed to listen to your body. You had to get out there and fight.
You quit. Well, you say you can't listen to your body.
You had to play.
Yeah, had to play. Wow, Randy. So let me ask this question, man. So how do you think the young guys today would would compare or measure up to you guys back in the day?
I mean, that's tough, Kevin. So like, we had to, like I said, I can put it to you like this.
Yes.
I get invited to go participate in, like a training camp, and
Yes.
it's hard for me to watch.
Okay.
I go to training camp today. I see guys riding around in golf carts. They don't have pads on to get days off.
Yeah.
They practice 2 or 3 days to get days off. I'm telling you, Kevin, we didn't get a day off.
Yeah, yeah.
We got a night off right before the first preseason game.
Got you.
You didn't get a complete day off.
Got
Now,
you.
you got that day off unless if you were hurt, you still had to go back to training camp and get treatment.
Got you.
Now these guys not in pads. We was in pads from day one. Like our first day, we was in pads twice a day.
Wow.
Twice a day we was in pads.
Now what?
And that went on the whole training camp.
And what about social media? You didn't have phones back then, but
No.
the guys are taking phones to camp, right? on the practice field, right? And they're on practice. They make an interception, and it's on Instagram about the interception they made. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, right? Okay. So you're thinking about retirement. This is a family decision, right? When you're thinking about retirement, right? And then you and Pat decide on what's the next step. What's your next venture, and what was that?
Alexa, that was one of the hard parts.
Okay.
So, like, when I decided to retire, I still had offers to go play in other places.
Okay. But you knew that your body just wasn't up to it.
That there too. But I
Okay.
knew I could, I could go and play, but it was the money too. I was willing to take less
Got you.
to go and start. Now I take less to be a backup,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna take less to be a starter.
Got you.
That played a part of it too. And then, like I said, it took a while.
Okay.
I played a lot of golf.
Okay.
And then I remember one day Pat looking at me and telling me that, you just 30, 31 years old.
Yeah.
It's, you need something else to do.
Yeah. Because you're not going to look at me all day, every day.
Yeah. That we going to play a golf class today. So
Yeah.
we talked and
Okay.
like I said, we fell into the Wendy thing.
Okay.
We started looking at that, but before Wendy's, we looked into a couple other franchises too.
Okay.
But Wendy's was the one that kept coming back, and we just pursued it.
Okay.
And then I'm fortunate that we did.
Now I'm curious. Why Wendy's as opposed to, say, Pizza Hut or, say, a McDonald's? Because McDonald's was big at that time too.
We looked at a lot of different
Okay.
options, franchisee, as franchises and business opportunities, and evaluated different ones. But we really, like Randy said, did come back to Wendy's. We really liked what they stood for as a company.
Okay.
The people that we spoke to, it just felt like a positive situation, a good match.
So
And
while
I'll tell you,
I'm sorry, Randy, go ahead.
I'll tell you, like, once we got involved
Yes.
and they accepted us, I mean, like, the support that came from Columbus and from the Wendy's team. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Okay. Did you want to go the franchise route, or were there other entrepreneur opportunities that you were looking at? Or was
I think we were thinking about the franchise route at that point.
It had,
and we feel like it was definitely.
No, I'm sorry, Pat. It had to be food. It was not. It could not have been service oriented.
It didn't have to necessarily be food. We looked at some other things that were not food related, but this just definitely seemed to be the best opportunity and a good fit.
Okay, now because this is called the Entrepreneur Enclave, I've got to ask this question. When you guys decided to do the franchise, did you who sat down with you guys to help you put together the business plan? Because I'm always telling my students and folks that I mentor, you've got to have a business plan once you decide that this is the passionate pursuit that you want to execute. Did you guys come together? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry.
And we had, even as we were looking at different possibilities, we had our own network of advisors, financial advisors, attorneys that were definitely involved in that decision as far as moving forward, and also involved as far as, coming up with the business plan prior to making a decision.
Awesome. That's what I want to hear. Because, I've got folks that says, Mr. Kevin, I want a business. Oh, okay. Show me the business plan. What? No, show me the business plan. What? I said, what? Let me know that you're thinking through the whole process. They have no idea. So how important was the business plan for you guys?
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, I think it was very important. But I almost take a step back.
Yes.
What really, helped me the most is, like I said, it doesn't hurt me that I was a professional football player here.
Yes.
In Indy. Like I say, once I retired, I continued to work out.
Okay.
And I met a lot of people that was in the business field, just, at the club that was down the street from us.
Yes.
Where we worked out. Where I used to go and, work out. I'll go in there, with John Hand and Ray Donald, we'd play.
Yeah.
We'd lift weights, we'd play a little racquetball and do whatever. And we ended up meeting an interesting group of people. I met a guy, what's his name? I forget his name. There was a developer for Wendy's here.
Okay.
And he was telling us about it. And he helped us out a lot. He helped us with the business plan, helped us with everything.
So
introduced us to the right people to put us in place.
So you're going to say that the key to all of this, once you were deciding to move, was networking and keeping those connections and building those relationships. Thank you.
That's what was big.
Yeah,
doing a lot of things. Cause I was the kind of person I stay at home.
Okay.
I don't get out, but I got out. I ventured out, and met other people. And,
yes.
Networking, and there you go.
Got you. And so, how long was this process for you guys? From start to between the networking, putting together the business plan, meeting with your advisors. How long was that whole process before you decided, well, we're going to move on Wendy's?
Yeah, I would say probably about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't it was once Randy retired from football, it wasn't an instant decision. And, I think if I look back on it now, it probably would have been even better if we would have started thinking about it.
Yes.
Before. But, I think that the point that you brought up about networking is critical. I think in life, networking is such an important part of your life period, and can open so many opportunities. And, what is networking? It can be as simple as just reaching out to people, having conversations with people, talking to people,
Absolutely.
And you just never know where that takes you.
Absolutely. Now, Pat, Randy talked about his process of what he had to go through while he was retiring. What was your process that you had to go through now that he's no longer playing football, but all the connections, all the wives that you met? How was that for you to make that transition?
Well, I think so. In between, and what we left out a big part of our in between lives is that we had 3 children.
No, we didn't leave that out. We knew you were going to bring that up, Pat. So go ahead, take it away.
So, that was also part of the decision,
Yes.
with looking at next steps, as far as retiring.
Yes.
So as far as the transition there, I mean, once you have children, a lot of what you do, evolves around your family, your children, raising your children,
Yes.
etc.
Yes.
So
Now let me stop you for a second, and I just want you to tell the listening audience. So now, Randy is 6'4", and you have twin boys and a girl, right?
correct.
Your
Correct.
twin boys are how tall are they?
They're 6'8".
6'8".
Yeah.
Wow. Let's sign them up for a contract, man. Wow.
And I tell you, Kevin,
Uh,
they played football up until they went to high school, and then they, we live in Indiana. Then basketball coach got them, and they stopped playing football. Just went all basketball.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So you're telling me that with everything that you have done, you've decided that basketball is going to be their thing. You had no more influence of them going to college and playing collegiate football.
Well, I tried to push them
Yeah.
football. I was their coach, and that
Yeah.
might have been the reason why they picked basketball.
Yeah. Hold on.
Back then, like I said, when they came out, we had cell phones. I can remember Pat texting me, telling me stop yelling at her kids.
Hold on just a second.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. We look forward to you joining us for our next one. Until next time.